Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurjana D. Adil, one of the reporter from Chapter 5. So, sunod po ako kay Abbas Maysar. So, ang topic ko po is Lesson 8.3, Curricular Modification and Basic Education during and post-pandemic. So, bago tayo magsimula is define muna natin kung ano ba itong most essential learning competencies. So, ano nga ba itong most essential learning competencies at ano ba yung mga napapaloob dito? So, noong May 6, 2020, naglabas ng DepEd Memorandum Circular 2020-00 entitled Clarifications on the Use of the Most Essential Learning Competencies or MELCs and other related issue. So, sa summary ng Memorandum Circular ng DepEd, sinabi doon na itong MELCs ang magiging batayan ng SDO, means School Division Officer, and RDO, or also known as Regional Division Officer. So, sila po yung mga gumagawa ng mga lesson na inilalatag sa mga bata, at itong MELCs ang magiging batayan ng mga kakayahan at learning competencies o mga aralin na dapat matutunan ng mga bata na gagamitin sa distance learning, kung saan ang mga bata ay mag-aaral sa loob ng kanilang mga bahay. And according din sa memo na yon, may nakalagay na determining factor kung paano pinipili itong MELCs. So, determining factor na nakalagay doon sa memo kung paano pipiliin yung mga competencies na ilalagay sa MELCs ay ang endurance. So, masasabi nating enduring ang isang learning competencies o kakayahan kapag ito ay nagamit ng estudyante hindi lamang sa oras ng kanyang pinag-aralan, kundi nagamit niya sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay o sa iba pang bagay na magiging kapaki-pakinabang sa kanya bilang isang individual. So, napapaloob sa MELCs ang research skills, reading comprehension, writing, map or mapping, and hypothesis testing. So, sa research skills, alam naman natin na bago tayo makatapos ng senior high, kailangan nating dumaan o pumasa sa research. Kasi, sa panahon ngayon, every program na ginagawa is hindi lamang basta-basta nandyan. Dumadaan talaga ito sa research. Kaya, tinuturuan ang mga estudyante kung paano gumawa ng research upang magkaroon sila ng research skill kung saan magagamit nila in the future kapag sila ay may mga trabaho na. So, the second is reading comprehension. Dito naman sa reading comprehension is maraming bata ang marunong magbasa pero hindi nila naiintindihan kung ano yung binabasa nila. So, isa ito sa piniling kakayahan na dapat taglayin ng mga mag-aaral. Yung sanay silang bumasa at naiintindihan nila kung ano yung binabasa nila. Kasi magsisimula ito sa kanila ng critical thinking, na kung saan mas makakapag-develop sila ng mas malalim na pagpakahulugan sa bawat bagay. So, pumunta naman tayo sa writing. So, 'di ba sa mga bata ngayon, especially sa elementary, may mga bata na nahihirapang magsulat. Pangalan pa lang hindi nila kayang isulat. So, sinigurado ng DepEd na kahit sa bahay lang sila, matututunan pa rin nila ang skill na ito. Example is, gagawa sila ng learning activities na makakatulong upang ma-enhance yung writing skills ng mga mag-aaral. So, dito sa mapping is tinuturuan yung mga bata kung paano natatandaan yung mga bagay-bagay from the word mapping, way, or direction. na kung saan natututunan ng mga bata o maiiwasan dito yung pagiging makakalimutin dahil dito sa mapping. So, let's proceed to hypothesis testing. So, ibig sabihin nito ay educational guess. Dito, mai-enhance yung critical thinking ng mga bata kung paano i-prove yung isang bagay na naiisip nila. So, ito yung mga kakayahan na napaloob sa MELSIS, or which is most essential learning competencies. And dito rin sa MELSIS, in the system of education, hindi lamang basta-basta ang mga aralin at kakayahan na itinuturo ng DepEd sa ating mag-aaral. At dahil nga sa pandemic na COVID-19, gumawa ng isang bagong curriculum ang DepEd kung saan ito ang gagamitin sa tinatawag na distance learning, kung saan ang mga bata at mag-aaral sa kanilang mga tahanan. And now, punta na tayo sa mismong topic. So, the most essential learning competencies. So, a part of this Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or BELCP, is the 60% reduction of learning competencies found in the K-12 Curriculum Guide from 14,171 competencies listed in the Curriculum Guide to 5,689 most essential learning competencies, or MELSIS. So, before the pandemic there are 14,171 learning competencies found in the K-12 Curriculum Guide. So, but in the time of pandemic, they have to make some adjustment and changes. So, from 14,171 competencies down to 5,689 most essential learning competencies that they choose or identify. One common problem that teacher met is an overcrowded curriculum. So, ito kasi talaga yung common problem ng mga teacher, yung overcrowded curriculum, na halos hindi na nila makover lahat ng students dahil sa sobrang dami nila. The reduction of the number of competencies may lead to more focused teaching. So, mas nakaka-focus ang isang teachers sa pagtuturo kung konti lang yung student niya or competencies. So, according to Maida, the first principle of simplicity is reduce. So, sa atin, simplicity means beauty. So, kay Maida is simplicity means reduction. So, the reduction of the learning competencies to the most essential is a thing surely welcomed by both teachers and students. So, let's proceed to various curriculum delivery modes. Obviously, with the unseen threat called COVID-19 virus, and for the health, safety, and welfare of all learners, teachers, and personnel, face-to-face instruction is a remote possibility in the immediate future until a vaccine is made available. So, with the unseen threat called COVID-19, and para na rin sa kaligtasan ng mga mag-aaral, guro, at lahat ng tao, is ang face-to-face class is hindi muna natin sa ngayon maranasan. Pero, in the future is kapag available o may mahanap ng vaccine is babalik din tayo sa face-to-face classes. So, kaya naman, nabuo itong various curriculum delivery modes. At ito ay binubuo ng 5. So, ang first is online learning. Second is alternative delivery mode, distance learning, homeschooling, and alternative learning system. So, ito yung various curriculum delivery modes. So, let's proceed to the first. So, online learning is only one of the delivery modes among all others in this new learning environment. The DepEd directed its field units to determine the most appropriate combination or strategies of learning delivery for every locality, taking equity concerns into consideration. So, dito sa online learning is gagamit talaga ng gadget si teacher. And kailangan din dito yung internet connection. So yung mga directed field units ng DepEd is dinetermine nila kung ano ba yung most appropriate combination or strategy of learning delivery. So, kung mapapansin natin, previous classes natin, especially no first year tayo, yung bago pa lang dumating itong online class is, kinoconsider ng mga teacher natin kung hindi tayo nakaka-attend ng online class kasi isa sa dahilan nito is yung internet connection. So, kinonsider yon ng DepEd kasi hindi naman sa lahat ng Philippines is malakas yung signal, especially yung mga sa pinaka-baryo talaga. So, let's proceed to alternative delivery mode. Refers to the non-traditional education program recognized by the Department of Education or DepEd, which applies a flexible learning, includes non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. So, dito sa alternative delivery mode is nag-aalok sila ng solusyon na maaaring makatulong sa mga mag-aaral. That includes non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. So, dito sa alternative delivery modes, we have two accredited alternative delivery modes are modified in-school and off-school approach or MISOSA and enhanced instructional management by parents, community, and teacher or impact for primary education. Sa modified in-school and off-school approach is para rin ito siya yung ginagawa ng mga teacher natin o yung ibang teacher na hinahati yung isang buong classroom tulad ng set A and set B para maiwasan yung overcrowded sa isang classroom. So, either nasa loob ng classroom or sa labas is matututo pa rin yung mga students. So, enhanced instructional management by parents, community, and teacher or impact for primary education. So, dito sa enhanced instructional management by parents, community, and teacher is involved na dito yung sa isang community and yung mga parents natin. So, ang kaibahan nitong dalawa is itong sa modified in-school and off-school is very specific siya sa mga students. So, yung sa enhanced is involvement no parents and community. So, let's proceed to distance learning. Modes of education include delivery of education content online, digitally, or through radio and television. Dito sa distance learning is para din ito siya online learning. Ang kaibahan lang nitong distance learning sa online learning modality is itong distance is pwedeng gumamit ng radio and television ang mga teacher para doon para sa educational content nila. Para doon sa mga students. Let's proceed to homeschooling. Is another flexible learning option recognized by DepEd. In fact, this is not only a stopgap solution in times of crisis. Based on the policy and guidelines released by DepEd, homeschooling provides learners with access to formal education while staying in an out-of-school environment. So, ang home schooling is for the learners in unique circumstances or situation. Like, for example, is yung mga students na may sakit or with disability na hindi kaya makapunta sa schools. Kaya in-implement ng DepEd itong homes para makater pa rin nila o ma-access nila yung mga students kahit nasa bahay lang sila. So proceed na tayo sa number 5 ng various curriculum delivery modes, which is yung alternative learning system. Sa parallel learning system in the Philippines that provides practical option to the existing formal instruction. And ito naman ay alternative or substitute learning system, or what we call the parallel learning system, na kung saan yung mga hindi kayang mag-aral sa formal education, which is pumapasok sila sa school. So, pwede sila dito. So, ano-ano ba yung mga karaniwang pumapasok dito? Dito sa alternative learning system or ALS. So, halimbawa dito or kasama dito, yung mga may asawa na, may mga anak na hindi kayang pumasok sa school. Kaya, dito na sila pumapasok dito sa ALS. Ganon din yung mga kabataan natin ngayon na over age. O kumbaga, hindi na sila suit doon sa kanilang edad na dapat sanay nasa ganong grade level sila. Kaya minsan, nahihiya na silang pumasok sa formal education. Kaya, dito na lang sila pumapasok. And, kung makapasa sila sa exam nitong ALS or Alternative Learning System, is babalik na sila sa formal education. Kaya sa ALS natin ngayon is sinasabi nila na age and life status doesn't matter. Kasi doon daw is lahat pwede. So there are two major programs on ALS that are being implemented by the Department of Education through the Bureau of Alternative Learning System or BALS. So one is the Basic Literacy Program, and the other is the Continuing Education Program, Accreditation and Equivalency or A&E. Both programs are modular and flexible. This means that learning can take place anytime and any place depending on the convenience and availability of the learners. So that's all. Thank you.